coming Sunday, wrestling fans, live on the WWE Network, we are going to see our first major stop on the road to WrestleMania 35. That major stop is the Elimination Chamber. This coming Sunday, we will crown the first ever Women's Tag Team Champions in the WWE. We will see who will be the WWE Champion going into Fastlane next month. We will see, once again, the monster among losers, Braun Strowman, taking on Constable Baron Corbin. And we will see if Finn Balor can dethrone the almighty Cringely from the Intercontinental Championship. All that plus so much more will happen this coming Sunday, live on the WWE Network at Elimination Chamber. Now, wrestling fans, before we dive into this pay-per-view, don't forget to become a subscriber today. Hit that subscribe button down below. Join me on my journey right here on YouTube. Go back and watch SmackDown Live review and Monday Night Raw review. We discuss everything that's happened on the go-home shows leading up to the Elimination Chamber this coming Sunday. So, go and check those two videos out. SmackDown had that tremendous gauntlet match. Raw, we had Charlotte join or take the place of Becky Lynch in the main event of WrestleMania 35. Plus, Paul Heyman confronted Seth Rollins, and the Revival are the new Raw Tag Team Champions in the WWE. But now, let's dive into Elimination Chamber, shall we? First things first, Almighty Cringely defending the Intercontinental Championship against Finn Balor. Can Finn Balor capture the IC strap from Bobby Lashley at Elimination Chamber? Now, this is a handicap matchup at Elimination Chamber. Bobby Lashley is getting to team up with his manager, Lio Rush, in this contest. Not really sure why WWE made this a handicap matchup. They really didn't come out and say why they made it a handicap matchup. They just made it a handicap. Kind of making where Finn Balor's having to define all the odds and overcome all the odds. Now, do I see Finn Balor taking the IC strap from Bobby Lashley? I hope. I'm knocking on wood. I'm really wishing he will at Elimination Chamber. Do I see them automatically pulling the plug and doing that? No. They still have to get through Fastlane. Okay? They still have to get through Fastlane with this rivalry before Bobby Lashley drops it so they can set up another matchup for WrestleMania, because I can see that being the direction going into WrestleMania. These two superstars. Now, when you talk about the build to this match, has it been anything that exciting? Not really. Finn Balor just came off of a Universal Championship matchup. Lost to Brock Lesnar, and now he just, okay, Brock's going to be off TV. Brock is tied up with Seth Rollins. So, Finn Balor, here's the next best thing. We have to keep you happy. We don't want you to go off the AEW. This is pretty much what's going on. Eventually, Finn Balor will become the Intercontinental Champion. There's no doubt in my mind. Will it happen this Sunday? I'm really not seeing that happening. But we'll have to wait and find out. The SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship is on the line as the best tag team in the world, Shane McMahon and The Miz, take on the Usos. When you look at The Miz and Shane McMahon holding the tag team championships, look, they are defending the titles against literally the best tag team WWE has right now. If you want to get down to it. The Usos and the Revival, when you talk about tag team wrestling inside the squared circle, you got the best. Okay? And right now, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And that's exactly what WWE is going to have happen this Sunday at the Elimination Chamber. Usos will be defeated by Miz and Shane McMahon. Now, what I would like to have happen is the Usos just go ahead and take the titles off of the Miz and Shane. Let's face it, Miz and Shane are on a collision course for WrestleMania 35. WrestleMania, we'll see a heel Miz taking on a babyface Shane. Why can't we have a longer storyline with these guys battling back and forth than 5 weeks? Because wrestling fans, we all know that if Miz and Shane do not drop the titles here, then they're going to drop the titles at Fastlane on March 10th. So you might as well, WWE, just get it done over with and give us an actual build like you used to, instead of rush on the last final weeks up to WrestleMania. We're already going to have to see that with the WWE Championship. I'm going to get to that in just a little bit. But Miz and Shane will be victorious at Elimination Chamber. Now, Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin, or Constable Corbin, or whatever you want to call him these days. Quite frankly, a match, a rivalry that is a big waste of our time. And that's just it. It is a big, giant waste of our time, wrestling fans. How many times we have to see this? Too many to count. Honestly. We saw it last year. We saw it leading up to the Royal Rumble. We saw Baron Corbin cost Braun Strowman the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel. All this stuff leading into TLC, leading into the Royal Rumble. And now we're having to see this just to fill up time for Elimination Chamber. And does any of us care about this? Absolutely not. This does absolutely nothing for neither of these superstars. It does nothing for neither of them. A big, giant waste of time. For you wrestling fans and for me, this will definitely be one of my bathroom breaks. Braun Strowman will be victorious. either by pinfall or by disqualification, because Drew McIntyre, I am sure, will get involved in this matchup. He is not scheduled on this card yet. And if he's not scheduled for a match, he has to have something to do. And he is embroiled in this rivalry. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. The women's Elimination Chamber matchup. Now, I hope this does not go on last. This match does not need to go on last. If it does, it is going on last for one reason and one reason only. And that's because they are crowning the first ever women's tag team championship. But this match doesn't need to go on. When you look at the build to the women's Elimination Chamber matchup, it is not worthy of it. You tell me, out of all the tag team matches we've seen since Royal Rumble, since they announced, period, that there's going to be an Elimination Chamber to crown the first ever tag team championship in the women's division, has it really gotten you real excited for this matchup? Has it really gotten you hyped up for this match? Has it really gotten you to the point where, wow, I can't wait to see what takes place? Not me. And besides, I have in the back of my mind exactly what happened. I remember exactly what happened the last time they stuck tag teams in the Elimination Chamber. It was an epic flop. You had Kalisto just hanging around like a monkey, falling on everybody. JBL saying all the tag teams were stupid. Yeah, all different types of stuff. Doesn't need to go on last. Some of you might like me saying that. Some of you might not like me saying that. If you let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. But in the end, I really think the Boston Hug Connection, Bayley and Sasha Banks, will walk out the first ever women's tag team champions in the WWE. There is no way they are having anybody from SmackDown walk out the first ever women's tag team champions. SmackDown has not built up the tag team division good enough. They just haven't. As far as tag team wrestling, as far as anything when it comes to the women. Raw has. Nia Jax and Tamina, Bayley and Sasha Banks, Riott Squad, they were all embroiled in tag team wrestling for months, even before they announced the women's Elimination Chamber matchup. It's going to Raw's side, and it's going to go to Bayley and Sasha Banks. Hands down. Guarantee it. This Sunday, you watch. They're going to start at number 1, and they're going to end it. Now, moving on with this pay-per-view, we have the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Buddy Murphy taking on Akira Tozawa. This is going to be another one of these contests where the Cruiserweights go out there and they do a fantastic job. Absolutely. Awesome job this Sunday. WWE always gives them a good amount of time to shine on pay-per-views. And if they do that again, they're going to knock our socks off. Buddy Murphy will walk out still Cruiserweight champion in the WWE. Ronda Rousey defends the Raw Women's Championship against Ruby Riott. This match, I have a hard time caring about. I'm sure a lot of you wrestling fans have a hard time caring about. Even with Charlotte being in attendance, even with all this stuff, I have a hard time caring about it. Because we already know that Ronda Rousey's going to win. And it made it even more predictable when they did all that changing around with Charlotte being in the main event of WrestleMania 35 now this past Monday. Because now we pretty much know that somehow Becky Lynch is going to be facing Charlotte at Fastlane or something along those lines to make it a triple threat matchup at WrestleMania 35. Because there's no way it's going to be a one-on-one encounter. Okay? So this is pretty much going to be there for Ronda Rousey and Charlotte to have interaction. Because Charlotte's supposed to be front row seat at ringside. Now, what I am intrigued about this, though, is the fact that Ruby Riott has a chance to shine. She's in a main event spot with Ronda Rousey. Not saying this is going to main event the show because it's not. But she's in a main event spot with Ronda Rousey. Ruby Riott can go out there and put on a tremendous match with Ronda Rousey and keep WWE's attention. Wake them up and say, hey, I am not one of these players that you can just sit here and put here on the way to WrestleMania where we already know the outcome. We just need somebody to fill time. I'm not one of them. I'm somebody you need to take important. I'm somebody that is important in this women's division. And when Ronda Rousey finally drops that women's championship, and we have somebody that is not going to just hold that hostage for Becky Lynch, because I'm not convinced that Charlotte's going to walk out of WrestleMania 35 the Raw Women's Champion. Ruby Riott can step in eventually and bam, take the Raw Women's Championship and have a nice run with it. I can see that happening down the road. But this is an opportunity to really show that if they let them have a good contest and not just back and forth, interaction. Okay. Now, in the main event, what should be the main event, the WWE Championship, Elimination Chamber. Daniel Bryan defending the title against AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe. Kofi Kingston originally was Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali injured, so they took Mustafa Ali out and put Kofi Kingston in. This past Tuesday on SmackDown, they made Kofi Kingston look like $1 million. Went in there for an hour in that gauntlet matchup and went through Jeff Hardy, went through Daniel Bryan, and went through Samoa Joe. Gruesome. Elimination, a gauntlet match. That gauntlet match was awesome. Kofi Kingston, they made him look like a contender to the best of their ability that night. But let's be honest here. This title's not changing on Sunday. The Elimination Chamber event, when it's over, Daniel Bryan will walk out still the WWE Champion. When we look at the build to this matchup, there's no question it deserves the main event spot. No question. And when I say the main event spot, okay, WWE, if somebody's listening to me right now, I mean the last match on the card. The last match. When the show goes off the air, whoever wins that Elimination Chamber, it should be the WWE Championship when the show goes off the air. They should be holding that title high. The build to this match deserves it. The title deserves it. Ever since this whole combining of the brands having pay-per-views, Raw and SmackDown, they have not had the WWE Championship go on last. Had the last match on the card. It's due. Do that. But Daniel Bryan's going to walk out victorious. Hope you enjoyed this preview and predictions of Elimination Chamber. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Become a subscriber today. Hit the bell for all notifications. Leave me a comment down below. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.